right, an Illinois circuit court in the United States of America has dismissed a lawsuit filed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the general election, requesting that President Bola Tinubu's academic records from the Chicago State University. Now, during the campaigns in 2022, Tinubu stated that he had a Bachelor of Science degree in business administration with honors. Now, despite Beverly Poindexter, who is in charge of official transcript requests, enrollment, and degree verification at the office of the registrar CSU, affirming Tinubu's comment, some persons still had some doubts. Recently, Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate for the PDP, filed a suit seeking to subpoena the university, but was said to have, before the date of hearing, withdrawn the case before the court. And according to the circuit court, according to circuit court papers dated July 31, Judge Patrick Hennigan dismissed the case without prejudice. In the judgment, the court held that the petitioner's subpoena in this case had been withdrawn, and thus Chicago State University was not to be deposed pursuant to the subpoena in this case. Now, still with me in the studio, we have Ayobami, I beg your pardon, still with me virtually, we have Ayobami Ladipo. Thank you very much for staying with me. Thank you for staying with me. And also, with me in the studio, I have Murphy Abadoni, who is a legal practitioner. Good morning to you, Murphy.
Good morning. I greet you and I greet our viewers.
All right, so now let's start with, the president's records, academic records, has been a theme of debate for quite a long time now, ever since, even before he made the announcement to run for the presidency. It's been a case. It's been something that people have had to talk about. Now, what do you make of the fact that there's been rather argument over where he got his certificate from? What do you make of this?
Thank you very much once more. It simply means that we're still evolving politically. If I take you a bit to history lane, you will understand that each time individuals indicate interest to contest for political office, people will go the extra mile to begin to dig deep into their past. And some of them do that for the purpose of it. Some of them do that for the purpose of the journalistic aspect of it, just doing their journalistic work. And some others do that for political reasons. Those who are political oppositions, who wants to pull you down, and the rest. So the point here is that it is not strange. Once you choose to go into politics, especially in the Nigerian settings, though it happens all over the world, you could see what's happening to Trump. You could remember what happened to Bill Clinton, including even Obama. People would just go back. People would tell you the day your mother gave birth to you. People would tell you your mother is not actually from this village, but your mother was brought here. People will tell you your dad was born in another village, was brought here. You remember when people said, and the opposition party, not just people, the opposition party said Atiku Abubakar himself, who is now the petitioner in this case, that Atiku Abubakar himself was not a Nigerian by virtue of the fact that he was being given birth to in Cameroon, which was not part of Nigeria as that, according to those. So it simply means that those who want to go into politics must prepare very adequately. Those who want to go into politics must understand that your opponent, the opposition, will not just sit down and watch. It means that those who want to come to equity needs to keep their hands clean. That is why when you said before President Bola Tinubu, or when he indicated interest, no, he has always been a public figure. He was once a Lagos State governor. So right from, if you remember, some of these issues began even as at the time he was contesting to be governor of Lagos State. And some of them were put to rest. But politicians will not relent. Politicians will always look for a way. Even him himself, it's not an exception. He will look for a way to put down his opponent too. It's just common with politicians. So I'm saying here that thank God with the current development, I just hope that these issues can be put to rest and people should begin to now hold him accountable. People should now begin to demand for good governance. People should begin to ask questions based on his current office. I'm not neglecting the fact that there are issues in courts. I'm not neglecting that fact, but as that may be, the Constitution has a provision that the office of the president does not tolerate a vacuum. So we have a president, and the earlier we realize that, the better for us, pending the outcome of the issues in court. I'm happy that this has been put to rest. That does not stop other politicians from also digging deeper. Digging deeper. We were told at the time that, in fact, the former President Muhammad Buhari's YX certificate was questioned. People went to court, including Atiku Abubakar himself. People went to court. Former President Muhammad Buhari's was also, some people alleged that it was a jubri from somewhere. Some people allege so many things that are unpredictable things that we cannot even say on air. Now it's former, that has gone. The lesson to learn here for politicians is that if you are not ready to take the hits, don't go to the kitchen. Don't go into politics. Oppositions will dig deeper. People will tell you the day you were giving birth to. People will tell you how your great-grandparents got to where you met them. People will tell you things.
All right. Let me come to Ayo Babami now. Now this looks like a case that always comes up every time. This particular issue, the Chicago University thing, it comes up every time. Now, one would wonder what can be done to put this to rest permanently.
Okay, I think I would just say a word or two. I listened to the barrister and I said that's a good one. Thank you for that explanation. Politics in this part of the world, and globally, politics involves it's a game of emotions in a way, a game of numbers. Politics involve back and forth, throwing of tantrums and throwing each other under the bus, trying to find something to nail the other person, to destroy their images, perception basically, because you want to sell yourself or you want to sell your candidates. It's part of politics. Like he said, if you're not ready to take the hits, don't go to the kitchen. Now, for over how many years, what exactly has been, a whole lot has been said about the person of President Bola Tinubu. And if in America, if the court has decided this out, throw this case out, and I don't think there's any basis for any conversation around it anymore. At least it wasn't done in a Nigerian court or in a West African court, in an ECOWAS court, where some people would have said, "Oh, he has used this connection. Did he use this connection in US, in a US court?" So let the man, let him breathe. And let him face the serious job of governance. Let President Bola Tinubu breathe. Let him face the job of governance. Let him breathe.
Okay.
Don't stress him.
Okay, interesting. Let him breathe. Now, please. Okay, question I want to ask you is this now: why, in your opinion, as a barrister, right after Atiku Abubakar, wrote the petition, he withdrew it? Why did he withdraw the subpoena? I mean, why did he withdraw the
Petitions.
subpoena?
Well,
The petition, yeah.
yeah, first of all, I'm not his spokesperson. I'm not in his media team. But if I have to speak based on what I perceive, or what I could call my opinion, maybe because they have their legal teams, and sometimes they have the best of lawyers, very good lawyers, because whether you like it or not, persons in the capacities of Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, not just a vice president, but a very heavyweight vice president, can afford all the good lawyers, and they always try to work in the interest of their clients. So they maybe at a point they felt there was reason for, because what they want is victory. And what is their victory? Their victory is tied to the pulling down of the president, which is Bola Tinubu. And I would always like to add this to that. If it was the other way around, if it was Atiku Abubakar that has emerged president, Bola Tinubu and his legal teams too, and his political allies would likely do same. If it was Peter Obi that has emerged, the other parties would likely do same. So maybe along the line, maybe they felt they will have a bad case. That is when you have honest lawyers, they will tell you, they know when there's a chance and know when a case is a bad case. Maybe they felt it will be a bad case going to court, and they will ask their clients to withdraw. I think that must have been what has occurred. After all, there are issues here. You don't carry too many issues at the same time on your head, because you may have to lose all of them at the same time. So there's a tribunal, and the outcome is still being expected. So maybe the legal team saw that there won't be any need to push. And they may have also, they have their private investigators that work with them. They might have also contacted the Chicago State University through other medium. And maybe they would have discovered that this person actually went to this school. This person actually has a clean record with this school. Like in the script that you read, you saw where the other man, what's his name, Egena something or something, you know.
Hennigan.
Yes. Said that this guy was a well-known person in this environment. This person schooled here, this person graduated here, this person is well-known in that is. Meanwhile, I need to also add this. This is 21st century. It doesn't take so much to find information these days. We just recently, a young lady here in Nigeria forged a JAMB result. It didn't take JAMB anything to say, oh, man, this is not ours. We didn't issue it. This is fake. So how much more of a Chicago State University in America? These guys are ahead of us, science-wise, technological-wise, and all. So they know if this person is faking to have graduated from Chicago State University, it won't take them 1 second. They will issue a press statement. So I need to also say that we need to relax, find there is need. Those are some of the ingredients of politics. Those are the things that makes politics interesting. If politics becomes a one-way thing where everybody just queues behind one particular candidate and there are those campaigning in his favor and there are no those campaigning against the guy, it wouldn't be interesting. So it's interesting to have opposition. It's interesting to have those who criticize the government. The only thing I advocate for when it comes to criticism is there should be some form of intelligence criticism, some form of people should be diplomatic. People should apply some intelligence. People must make sure that their criticism does not create unnecessary chaos. Otherwise, what is politics without criticism? What is democracy without criticism? What is politics without oppositions digging deep into your past, trying to find fault, trying to find error somewhere? It's all part of it, and it means that we are actually growing.
Okay, I'll take your opinion on this, but let me ask Ayobami first. Ayo, why do you think that certificate forgery and result manipulation is always an issue with Nigerian politicians? Why do you think so? I mean, that seems to be one of the most common things that is brought up against politicians in Nigeria.
So I think because many of those who dwelled into politics in the last couple of years were not so prepared. Or let me just say some of them, because it's not, so it's been used against several politicians, namely a few actually. Maybe they were not so prepared. Maybe from their days in uni, doing their little way, some got carried away. I don't want to mention names. Got carried away, and they didn't put their house in order. And I think it boils down to preparation. I think it boils down to preparation per se. They were not really prepared even for politics, for to even be a part of all of this process. And suddenly, they saw the opportunity and they decided to plug themselves in.
All right. Now, your opinion on this. Now, do recall that we had Salisu Buhari from 1999. He was Speaker of the House of Reps in Nigeria. There were claims that his bachelor's degree from the University of Toronto was fake. And then Goodluck Ebele, GEJ, also had the issue of a PhD of zoology being in question. And Buhari, his own school SAT too, was an issue. So politicians, they all seem to have this issue. Why? Why is that so?
It is because it's simple. It's because the system has
Prioritizes
has prioritized certification. We have made our society a certificated society. As at 10 years ago, I was already advocating against this. That why are we going to live in a society where everything boils down to you acquiring a certificate from a university? Even from the way it is today, if you have a certificate from a polytechnic, it's as good as you have an inferior certificate. It's that bad. Meanwhile, the same person who goes to a university in Nigeria, acquire all the certificates, acquire masters, will travel just to England here and begin to work without even his WAEC certificate. Because once you leave the shores of Nigeria, they want to train you on what they want you to do, or they want to employ you based on what you have got to offer. And why is China? Can anybody tell me that China today is among the most educated countries of the world? I don't think you are going to tell me that. But is China not among the prosperous nations of the world today? What about America? Come on. Come on. All the big gates, let's start from there. Almighty Michael Jackson, who I describe as the most popular man after Jesus Christ today. That is my this thing. So, which school did he attend? Most of the great guys, which university did they go to? So I'm saying,
we're talking politicians now.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Look at our politicians.
When Obama was to contest, I mean, his records were plain, certificate-wise. One of the arguments was that, he was not a true American. That was one of the arguments, not certificates.
Yes, I'm saying this.
Why can't our politicians have their certificates in the open?
Nobody would want to bother to go and fake or forge the certificates in a society where people are not paying so much attention to certificate. Let me give you an instance. In Nigeria, what does the Constitution say? What's the constitutional requirements for contesting for a president, contesting for governorship, and the rest of it? School SAT. But because we live in a society where people so much value paper certificates, no politician today want to present a school SAT. So people will look. That is why now they are no longer even just presenting our university certificates. They are going for that to present. Recently, there was a politician, a former senator from Kogi State, who was asked, I ran into that clip recently. Was he asked, did you graduate from this university abroad? The person was just blabbing. He was just trying to jump the question. Because these people will now just go to the US, go to Canada, go to Britain, and run a 2-week course in a foreign university and come back to tell you that they are an alumni of that institution. We're saying that it's time we put all this behind us. I'm even saying that we should drop the certificate thing. We should begin to encourage our people to go into other areas. Look at our technical schools are dead. That was why I told you at Benicio that it is the system that is encouraging this certificate madness. I call it certificate madness. Somebody has a master's in engineering. He cannot change his tires. He cannot service his generator, his Tiger generator. I better pass my neighbor generator. He cannot even service it. He has a master's in engineering. You go to China, a graduate from a technical school can dismantle an engine, can do whatever. So which is better for us at this point? Is it just parading of these certificates from different institutions and going to office and still mess up? We've had all of them. We've had people with PhDs occupy Aso Rock. We have those with master occupy Aso Rock. What changed? That's the issue. What changed? We have what 36 states of the federation being occupied by people who have certificate masters, those who have foreign certificates. What has actually changed? So I'm saying that the moment we drop this idea of celebrating and worshiping paper certificates, we'll get it. No politician will be interested in going to force certificate, or you're going to bring a certificate from Chicago, from California, from anywhere. Let us ask ourselves, what can we really do for ourselves? We're living in a society now where if you have 5 children, 5 of them are aspiring to go to university. Even the one who wants to end up as a musician, even your daughter wants to end up as a beautician, that could just easily go to a beauty institute somewhere.
Isn't that because education is the bedrock of everything you want to do?
And what do you define as that education? Is it just university education? No, now. It's not just the university. After secondary school, if all things being equal, you are educated. You should be able to read and write. You should be able to know your rights. You should be able to know the basic things. The young man who wants to study law can proceed to university. The young woman who wants to become a medical doctor can proceed to university. But the guy who wants to get involved in shipping or clearing and forwarding should be able to proceed to the Clearing and Forwarding Institute, to the Nigerian Maritime Museum. That is what the point I'm trying to. I don't know if you are getting me. There are so many other institutes that are also useful in the Western world that are not useful here. Meanwhile, they help more. You go to university, you come back, little things you can't do for yourself. The only thing you have is just the paper. You have gone to Nigerian University to study political science. I mean, not just political science, computer science or computer engineering. All through your days in university, you didn't see a computer for one day. Your lecturer just come to class and teach you theories. Then when you graduate tomorrow, you become an engineer that cannot do nothing. Then you go to Alaba International. A young chap who did not even go to secondary school will dismantle a computer and will solve your problem and will charge you and you will pay. So I'm saying that for those that are watching, I shouldn't be misquoted. Education is key. Education is good. But we're saying that after a sound secondary school education, we should be able to define what we want or what we want for our siblings, and we should take it up from there. The idea that everybody must go to university, graduate from, look at today, so many of our sisters and daughters are graduating from university and coming back to Ushodi to learn hairdressing, to learn, which is what they should have done ab initio. So politicians are forging certificates and having issues with certificates because they want to impress the society that believes so much. Because if, for instance, at the political party level, there are 5 or 6 or 10 candidates, or not candidates this time, aspirants who aspire for instance, the position of governorship. From that primary level, those in the party authorities will now begin to look at their profile. What are they looking at? What degrees do they have? Okay, this one has a degree from a Nigerian university. This one has from Canada. This one first. This one has a master's from US. And all that. And at the end of these things don't change nothing. It doesn't change nothing. So it is decided, the moment the society begins to understand that it is not all about certificate, at that moment, politicians too will begin to understand that I can actually go back to my ICAP, dust up my WAEC certificate, and contest for any position. Simple until the Constitution says otherwise.
Okay. Now, Ayo, are you one of those in support of the Constitution saying that with your school cert you can run for political positions?
I would say yes. And I would support what the lawyer said. Because while I believe and while I support that education is the bedrock of a nation, now, in what regards are we talking about? In what regard exactly do we say education is the bedrock? Because if you check very well, like the lawyer said, secondary school education, a well-grounded secondary school leaver is way better than several BSc holders. It is easy for you, take my word again, and I'll take it again. A well-grounded SSC leaver is way better than several BSc holders. In this country that we are, it is easy for you to go to the university and probably even just find your way around writing exams and getting the certificate than the foundation that you get at the SSCE level when you are well grounded, when you are well tutored. Most, except for professionals, except for some very professional courses where you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a civil engineer, where you find an alternative around it. Most people go to higher institutions to read and just pass the examinations, not exactly because they want to come out and even use the certificates. I can say that about 85% of Nigerians graduate in the last maybe 5-10 years have not even used their certificate. Some are not even employable. While some others, the moment they are coming out, the ones that are ready to even work are learning different things. So that's why we have so much entrepreneurs, so much SMEs, and they are doing fantastically well. From fashion to beauty to arts, music, even to sports, to tech. Now, are you saying that someone who wants to go into tech needs to go to a university to go and study business administration or whatever while knowing that what he wants to do has to do with social media management, digital management, where your courses can be done in 1.5 years or 2 years, and you would have your certifications. But because it does not have a BSc attached to his name, then people still tend to look down on him. They want the people who controls the world globally, who controls the space that you run, that you guys now work with, who controls the digital space. All of this that we're doing today, I'm not sure that many of them are BSc holders. Mark Zuckerberg is not a BSc holder. Yet, is he educated? Yes. He's properly educated. Because if he's not educated, he would not have been able to put things like this together. We won't have the Instagram and Facebook of today. The two guys that did Google, I've not even read their educational qualifications, but basic education is the knowledge that you have been impacted with, not just because you want to read that we used to call la crème la peau, not just because you want to read to pass exams and just have that paper. Well, what use is the paper when you yourself cannot be useful to the nation? When the paper just carries your name, but you cannot even use it. How many engineers, for real? How many mechanical engineers can you ask? Graduate of mechanical engineering, how many of them can you ask to service your car? You would rather prefer a Taufik that you are sure is competent, who does not speak English, because he learns. But your graduate of mechanical engineering cannot service a car, cannot change oil filter. He still takes his car to the refuel.
All right then. You mentioned Mark, the CEO of
Mark Zuckerberg.
no, what's
Meta.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. He's actually a graduate of Harvard University, which he attended from 2002 to 2004. Sorry, I can't hear you.
When? He attended when?
From 2002 to 2004, Harvard.
Now, after
Facebook didn't
so
come.
he attended,
Facebook didn't come up in 2002. Facebook came up much later. I think Facebook came up in 2009. Between
okay, so
2008 and 2009.
what did he do in Harvard?
Well, we'll have to dig deeper into that one. But the bottom line is he's a graduate of Harvard University.
Harvard, yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. All right, so I think at this point we have to, I must say a very big thank you to you, Ayobami Ladipo, who is a public affairs commentator and also a blogger. I haven't visited your blog lately. I don't know. I probably should, visit and see, the things you've been writing about recently. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ayo, for coming on the program. And also a very big thank you to you, legal practitioner Murphy Abadoni. Thank you very much for.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk business, entertainment, and sports. Stay with us.